subconscious mind. Do you understand that? Do you accept that? You've asked the inner mind to give you a response. And the response is very spontaneous. As it comes through, you know exactly that it has agreed to let your help be helpful to yourself. And yourself is your client. Let these suggestions sink into your unconscious and become your reality. And know that you've started on your way to master your achievement. And you're going to be so glad to see your weight begin to slip away. It's going to give you more confidence. It's going to make you feel more sure of yourself. It's going to make you more satisfied with life. Now, when you have this affirmation firmly embedded in yourself, you will arouse automatically from the hypnosis and come back to the here and now with a great feeling, a glowing sense inside yourself of inner satisfaction. And then you wait. Don't try to push the unconscious. You haven't any right to decide for the subconscious, unless there's some reason why you have to, and that occasionally it does occur. But if there's time, and actually time is not important, you have plenty of time in a session to do what you have to do. And so you wait. I'm awfully glad you came, and you're started on your way.
So am I.
You're going to be very pleased. Feel the difference inside yourself. Know that you're going to drop a weight to the proper weight, and you're going to be so glad. You'll feel better, and you'll be very proud of your achievement. Thank you, my good friend.
Thank you.
And now, one young lady has very graciously come up and said that she would like to try a session. So we'll have another session with this young lady, and then we'll see how we're going to proceed. Now, you could do one or two things. Well, I guess you could do more than one or two things, but anyhow, you can do one or two things. Yeah, that's full of. That's true, isn't it? You can do more than one or two things. Nobody seems to get that, so let's pass on. No uptake.
Not on that one.
Not on that one.
Too shy.
That one over their heads. I shouldn't have. It was just nonsense anyway. I'm glad you came up, Gene. This is my office. I think you better go over and knock on the door before you take my seat. Go over there and knock on the door. Come in.
Hello.
Hello there. Sit right down, make yourself comfortable. And I wanted to just ask you in passing, and very casually, did you see my advertisement in the yellow pages of the magazine?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see that?
No.
Well, then how in the world did you know about coming to the office?
Recommendation.
What's that?
Recommendation.
Oh, was I recommended?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's awful nice to know. Who in the world would recommend me? Was it the Queen?
No, it's Tom Silver, actually.
It was Tom Silver that recommended me.
Yeah.
I see. And, well, that's awful nice of Tom Silver. Did you pay him for the recommendation?
No, but he might ask me later.
You think, oh, I don't think he will. He's a very generous fellow, they tell me. I don't know him personally, but I've heard good things about him. And, you know, having a name of Silver is a good suggestion because it brings in silver to, well, to your pocket. You knew that.
Perhaps, yeah.
You didn't know that the name Silver tends to stimulate silver income? You didn't know that?
I thought gold would have been better, actually.
No, but his name's not Gold. You see, if I was, you see, you and I are now getting acquainted. We're breaking down formal barriers. That's all. We're talking about things that are obviously utter nonsense, but it isn't nonsense at all. It's a communication of, well, of understanding one another, that we are able to joke together, laugh together, and communicate on an easy level. Now that we have made that commitment and that establishment, and we have, well, obviously we've set a pattern for ourselves that we have to adhere to, otherwise they'll think we're lying. So tell me, what did you come to see me about?
To stop being frightened of flying.
Doing what?
To stop being frightened of flying.
Excuse me. You are frightened of flying?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
How long have you been frightened of flying?
All my life.
All your
Well, since
life?
the second time I flew. The first time I was okay, but the second time I wasn't okay.
Did anything happen on the flight?
No, but there was a big air crash after
A big what?
a big air crash after the first flight I took before I came back from my holiday. So
That's
the
it.
day before there was a huge air crash.
I see. And you've held on to that all this time?
Yeah, I even dream about it.
Well, now tell me, Jean, are there other things, do you do that with everything in life? Do you, something happens that's a disturbance that's in some place and then you fear even driving in a car, or you fear, some people, you know, even fear to leave their house. They get so sold on an idea of fear.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing that's the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do feel that way?
Only about flying, not about other things, no.
Other things you don't feel that way?
No.
Well, then don't you think maybe that we should associate flying along with all the other things you don't have any fear towards?
Yeah.
Would that be a good way to give you suggestions?
Yeah.
Now, when I say suggestions, I'm not speaking in just the term of making a suggestion. I'm suggesting an idea to present to your inner mind, to your subconscious, that you will have no longer any fear of flying. Now, what don't you have any fear of doing?
Skiing,
Mm-hmm.
driving,
Huh?
driving, skiing.
You don't have any trouble with fear of driving.
Nope.
Well, then, wouldn't it be smart of us working together to have you relate flying to driving?
Yes. Yes.
And then you'll have no fear of flying anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
But what if it went the other way and you became fearful of driving?
I wouldn't like that. That wouldn't be very good.
You wouldn't like that. Well, then that won't happen. You see?
Good.
Flying is a convenience. It's part of our way of transportation. It'll be a convenience for you to drop away fear of flying. And that won't be hard to do.
Okay.
You can do it very simply. I'm going to show you a little technique of hypnosis. You're familiar with hypnosis. You've heard of idiomotor action, of course. I have here, you know, William James is the one that's responsible for this, and William James is the very famous pioneer psychologist. He's the one that formed the theory of idiomotor action, as you probably know. Idiomotor action being that every thought, that every time you think of something in the body, in the form of motion, it tends to affect the inner muscles of the body themselves. In other words, and muscular tissue is not only on the outside, it's on the inside of the body as well. So really, every thought you have is producing an unconscious motor response. Therefore, if you are selling yourself an idea that you have flying, you feel the fear all through your body, and not just in your head. You just feel, well, I'm uncomfortable. So what we have to do now, we'll just use the process in reverse, and by using this, we can tell how you respond to idiomotor. Just take the pendulum in your hand and hold it in front of you, up in front of your eyes. Now think in your mind of it going back and forth. You use the process very well. And as you watch it going back and forth, concentrate upon it and let yourself gradually become absorbed in it. And think of yourself, of your eyes getting heavy as you watch it. Think of your eyes closing down together. Think of the pendulum getting heavy in your hand and falling down to your lap. Think of your arm falling down to your lap. Think of going to sleep.